Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to do a requested video from one of my subscribers who asked if I could do a better stock to buy, Rivian versus Palantir. So that's what we're going to do here. I will answer that question, which one is the better stock to buy. So let's get right into it, starting with revenue growth. Now, comparing Rivian and Palantir on revenue growth shows an interesting difference here. Rivian only really started generating revenue meaningfully around July of 2022, and look at how it's exploded so quickly up to 2.2 billion in revenue. Palantir, meanwhile, has been generating revenue for a couple of decades now, and it's up to 1.98 billion in revenue. So both Palantir and Rivian are growing revenue. Rivian, however, is growing revenue more rapidly than Palantir, and I expect that to be the case for the next several years. Rivian's got ramping up production. It's going to double. It's planning to double production this year and then perhaps double production again next year, and then it's got a manufacturing capacity expansion that it's planning to do. So it's got prospects, it's got plans to grow revenue really rapidly over the next several years. The next metric I'm going to compare the two on is operating profit margin, and this shows a big difference in favor of Palantir. While Rivian was growing revenue faster than Palantir, Rivian is losing a lot more money compared to Palantir. Here I have the operating profit margin in Rivian. Although it has been improving, it still generated a 301% operating profit margin loss in its previous 12 months. Palantir, meanwhile, has generated just a 5.93% operating loss over the previous 12 months, and I would not be surprised if this metric turns positive over the next several quarters because Palantir has made big strides in profitability. Management of Palantir has said they expect 2023, they expect to be GAAP net profitable in each of the 4 quarters of 2023. So they've turned the corner on profitability while Rivian still has a long way to go. The next metric I wanted to compare these two on is cash flow from operations to sales. And in this metric, Palantir has been positive for some time. In the most recent trailing 12 months, it generated cash flow from operations to sales of 19%. Meanwhile, Rivian is making great strides, but it's still negative 249%. So Rivian is making excellent progress, but it's got a long way to go in terms of cash flow and profitability. And finally, I wanted to compare these two on valuation, and I chose to use the forward price to sales because Rivian is not positive cash flow, it's not positive profit, so I chose to use price to sales because I was limited in the metrics I can choose. And according to this metric, Palantir is more expensive on a forward price to sales, selling at 13.31, while Rivian sells at 3.047 forward price to sales. However, if I had to pick one of these two growth stocks to buy today, I would pick Palantir. I think Palantir is significantly less risky given that it's made so much progress towards profitability. It's been generating positive cash flow. 2023 is expected to be profitable on the bottom line in each of the quarters, and I like that. I like the lower risk of a company that's already self-sustaining and profitable, and I think that the company does have growth prospects even though it might not be growing as quickly as Rivian over the next several years. So for all those reasons, I would pick Palantir stock over Rivian stock if I was to pick today. Alright, but that's all I've got for this video. Again, thank you so much for requesting. If you would like me to do a video, please put it in the comments below. Request what kind and what are the tickers, and I'll be happy to put it on my list and get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.